Looks like we're live and ready to go. Today we're going to be talking about diabetes burnout, but first I want to give you a few little housekeeping rules for our meeting today. Please make sure that you are on mute. It just helps to be able to get through everything, but you raise your hand and ask questions. Down below you'll see in your settings along the bottom of the screen that you mute yourself, toggle your camera, you can raise your hand, and then also off to the very right, there is a chat bubble. So you can hop in on the chat bubble and type in your questions. That's it for the introductions. And we're going to get started about diabetes burnout. So I'm hoping that you're excited about this topic, because I am. Diabetes burnout is something that really needs to be paid attention to, and that just doesn't get enough acknowledgement, even in the doctor's office. When you're saying, like, I feel like doing a lot, I'm trying to balance a lot, I'm trying to juggle a lot, it doesn't always that you can use for your emotional health and well-being. You're kind of just told these are the things that you've got to do. It's one of those interesting things to walk into. I am so delighted to have you all here as we dive into this very important topic. I want to talk about how we minimize the feelings of burnout when we have diabetes, because it's difficult. Having diabetes is really not the easiest thing in the world. I really want to just give you some useful strategies and tips to handle and understand diabetes burnout. So I'm Mila. I am your health coach and the founder of Glucose Guide. I have type 1 diabetes, slow progressing form of type 1 diabetes, and I have a passion for helping people achieve their goals with diabetes health. Today, we're going to discuss the different factors that lead to burnout and then provide you some useful strategies and tips to avoid it, which I hope that you're able to take away. So if you ever feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or exhausted of managing diabetes, you are not alone. Diabetes burnout is real. Many people face it. We're going to address it head on today and help equip you with some tools. Before we dive into the strategies, I think it's really important to understand what diabetes burnout is and then talk about some of the factors that contribute to it. Diabetes burnout is a state of emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion that can occur when the demands of managing diabetes become overwhelming. So it's a feeling of being fed up and drained by the constant responsibility of monitoring blood sugars, taking medications, and making lifestyle changes. There are several factors that can contribute to diabetes burnout. Some of the most common ones are continuous self-care. The need for constant vigilance in managing diabetes can make you feel exhausted and frustrated when you're constantly having to check your blood sugars, when you've got alarms beeping, when you have the sting of your insulin going in, when you have to remember day in and day out to take your medication. That can be exhausting and frustrating. It's really important that we acknowledge that we do have to have a constant vigilance around managing diabetes, but it doesn't have to lead to burnout and frustration. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Fear and anxiety is another factor that can contribute to diabetes burnout. So the fear of complications and constantly worrying about your blood sugar levels can take a toll on your mental well-being. It can be really hard to think about other things, and it can be something that feels like a weight on top of you. And so that fear and that anxiety of just facing potential complications, or trying to balance everything in your life but also balancing diabetes, that is real. A lack of support is also a factor. So diabetes can sometimes feel like a lonely journey, and a lack of support and understanding from friends or family or healthcare providers can contribute to burnout deeply. And then limited flexibility in your routine. This happens to me all the time. I start yawning when I'm talking a lot, so please excuse me. I'm not bored by my own talk. For some reason, I don't get enough air. I don't breathe enough when I talk. Anyway, so limited flexibility, the strict routines and restrictions that are associated with diabetes management can make us feel constrained and burned out. When we're managing a routine that has to be extremely structured and we don't feel like we have autonomy or flexibility, that can lead to feelings of burnout. So now I hope you have a better understanding of what causes burnout, and it's something that you can maybe ask yourself, or you can, see within yourself, like, am I dealing with burnout? Do I feel like my flexibility is limited? Do I have support? Am I feeling anxiety around taking care of myself or 24/7? Those are all feelings of diabetes burnout. Now that we understand it better, let's talk about some strategies that can help you overcome it. So first, setting realistic goals is super important. Break down your long-term goals into small, achievable milestones and celebrate each of your accomplishments along the way. That will boost your motivation. So that's something great that you can do here. You can brag about how well your A1C is doing, or maybe you exercised for every day that you had planned to this week, and that's something that you're really excited about. Set those realistic goals, but break down your longer term goals. So we talk a lot about SMART goals. That's a course that I'm launching in the next few weeks, is setting realistic goals. How do you do that when you are dealing with diabetes burnout and when you are dealing with feelings of inadequacy around your diagnosis? And so those small goals are going to help you reach milestones, and they're going to be exactly what you need to keep on going and to keep making sure that you're on the right track. Then you want to practice self-care, but self-care is really important. And self-care doesn't necessarily mean things that are directly related to your diabetes management. Self-care are activities that can help you relax and recharge. So that could be exercise for you. It could be hobbies. It could be meditation. It could be spending time with loved ones. It could be watching movies. It could be racing horses. It can be any of those things. And so do things that make you happy. Build things into your day that make you happy. Make sure that you're participating in hobbies or in, different activities that will help you recharge. Find them outside of your diabetes management, because the diabetes management is always going to be there, but you have to take care of yourself on the other end of that, especially when it comes to your mental health. So seek support and reach out to diabetes support groups, online forums, or connect with others who understand what you're going through. You are not alone in this journey. You also don't have to seek out strangers. Ask them for their support. You're not a burden for doing that. And the worst thing that they can say is, no, I can't handle it, or they might not know how to support you. So if you're seeking support and you don't get the support that you're looking for, think about the people around you who are already supportive and use those strengths to your advantage, who are loving, who are caring, and allow them to be a part of your diabetes journey. Establish open and honest communication with your healthcare team. Share your concerns, ask questions, and they will help you find personalized solutions. Whereas with coaching, I can help you with goal setting, with getting through your goals and achieving them, with holding you accountable, with being able to find the strengths that you possess and unlocking those to help you get to your goal. But your healthcare professionals are going to be even more personalized, especially when it comes to your health. They're going to be able to prescribe. They're going to be able to give you solutions with medication if you need it. They might be able to prescribe a meal plan if you need it. Having open and honest communication with your healthcare teams is super important. And then mindfulness. Incorporating mindfulness techniques into your daily routine are super important. So mindful eating, which is making sure to focus in on your meal, to enjoy the aromas, the flavors, not watching TV while you're eating, but like being present in the moment while you're eating, recognizing when you are actually full. Incorporating that kind of mindfulness into your day is super important. So you can do things like deep breathing exercises, gratitude practices. Those kinds of things help to reduce stress and improve your overall well-being. Having mindful moments during the day, as many as you can, even if it is a 1-minute break that you're working with, important to have that time set aside for yourself. Also remember that everyone's journey is unique, and finding what works best for you might take time. So be patient with yourself and embrace the progress that you make along the way. That progress is going to be incredible, and you're going to be so proud of yourself when you find your sweet spot. that's really it for today. That is kind of the overwhelming gist of what diabetes burnout is, what that looks like, and how people can really overcome those feelings of burnout. So I hope this helped you learn today. I am super excited for you guys to tell me about how you're overcoming burnout. So I'll see you in the next Ask Me Anything. And in the meantime, you can always reach out to me through the Glucose Guide app whenever you'd like. And I will see you in the next session. Bye, guys. Take care.